Hey, just letting you know I'm sick right now and my voice is going to be a little off. Kid Cudi's Entergalactic. This movie's been on my radar since the first trailer dropped. And now that it's out, can it possibly hold up to my expectations? This is my spoiler-free review of Entergalactic. The story follows Jabari, a 30-something artist who just landed a job at a massive comic studio. After meeting his new neighbor, a photographer named Meadow, they very quickly fall for each other. The movie follows the two of them growing close until a wedge is driven between them. The romance plot of this movie is frankly pretty bog standard. We've seen this story play out a million times before, but the characters are written so well that you very quickly become invested in their relationship. The movie does a very good job of showing both sides of the couple and how they, as well as everyone around them, feel about each other. This movie is also very funny, with more than a handful of moments that made me audibly laugh. Overall, the stellar writing more than makes up for the generic plot. Now onto something a bit more my speed, the visuals. First off, this movie is absolutely gorgeous. The character models are very appealing and have well-defined silhouettes. All the backgrounds are well designed and fit the overall style. The hand-painted aesthetic in 3D has always appealed to me, and it's a real standout here. There is a lot to love in the graphics department, and DNEG Animation did a great job. After seeing the first trailer, admittedly I thought this was going to be a pretty shameless copy off of Sony Animation's homework, but there does seem to be enough here to differentiate the art styles. I also appreciated the few times that the movie changed to hand-drawn, all of which are very different from each other and the main art style. It really shows that there was a lot of different ideas and passions brought to this project. As for the animation, it's mostly very dynamic and effective. I will say there were a few moments where things felt a little off. Some shots felt like they could have used another in-between pass. There were a couple of characters that looked like they were walking in place, and some scenes felt like the frame rate kind of changes in mid-action. That being said, those little things weren't enough to take me out of it, and they're probably not even going to be noticed by most people. I'll touch on the music very briefly, as I don't really have much insight in that area. I really liked the soundtrack. It mostly just faded into the background for me and did a very good job of setting the tone for each scene, which is pretty much all I could ask for. Now, some miscellaneous things to touch on before I go. I really can't say enough how much I loved the experimental scenes. There is more than one dream sequence, and they're all extremely interesting to look at. One in particular really makes me hope that we get a physical release of this movie, because I don't think that the compressed Netflix stream does it justice. I also really like how things are conveyed to the audience. There's a scene very early on where we meet Carmen, Jabari's ex-girlfriend, and the movie tells us their relationship by having a FedEx truck drive by, but leave the X on screen. I thought that was very clever, and little things like that are littered throughout the whole movie. I'm sure I have more to say about this, but I think I'll save it for another time. If you like Kid Cudi and want to support this movie, if you like fun rom-coms, or if you think the art style was appealing, then I definitely recommend this movie. If you'd like to hear me go more in depth on the animation and art style of this movie, let me know by hitting like and commenting. I want to thank my patrons on Patreon. If you want to see work in progress, have your name show up in my video, or even get access to a bunch of models, sign up with the link in the description. And be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.